Hi everyone, welcome to the Aroma Sun channel. Couldn't help but share my excitement and thoughts about the new Aroma support being released through Phantom Nightmare on February 9th. I've never felt so impatient knowing TCG has to wait longer than OCG, but let's explore the Aroma Angels. So, first and foremost, this is my favorite deck of all time. I love the life point gain, I love the play style, I like the security that the life points bring, just kind of gaining and gaining and, using that advantage. So, we have here first the Aroma Lilith Rosemary. This is a Link 3 Dark plant monster and it only requires two or more plant monsters. That means that any plant that could use this. And it is a hard once per turn for each effect. And it looks like it's saying that if this card is special summoned, which means that we can use it whenever we use Blessed Winds, and that allows us to special summon Aroma monsters from the graveyard instead of like only relying on Link Summon. So that's awesome. So if this card is special summoned, you can add one Aroma card from your deck to your hand. Yes, so we have our first thorough search for Aroma. This is awesome. It's any card, so we could use monster search, spell search, trap search, whatever we can. And that is going to definitely bring an advantage with, ramping up your field, swarming the field, and we all know that every plant deck, almost every plant deck swarms the field. So, yes, Link 3 is quite a hassle to finally get our thorough deck search, but again, Aroma is a plant deck and it'll easily storm the field. We'll get multiple plant monsters on the field, even on first turn. So, yes, it is Link 3. Could be quite a hassle, but knowing Aroma, and again, I'm a Aroma lover, I know that it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, and look, here we are with the if you gain life points, even during the damage step, which will happen, you can special summon up to three monsters, Aroma monsters only, from your hand to zones this card points to. That is super cool. I mean, talk about the, storming the field. That is going to be super awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is awesome. I like this new support. It's a dark monster, which is quite interesting since her synchro summon, this is Rosemary. I love Rosemary. She is also the synchro monster, and I don't think she's a dark. I'm pretty sure she's like a wind, but or a light monster. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so we have that. And then we have number three here. It says you contribute one monster this card points to, then target one card on the field and banish it. If you do, you gain 1,000 life points. That is quite amazing. We don't have a lot of banish in Aroma except for Marjoram, the level 5. She banishes cards in the graveyard, any card, up to the number of Aroma monsters we control. And now we have more Aroma support. We're going to be able to use that effect as well. And that's any card. So we could banish trap cards, spells, monsters. That's amazing. Let's see here. So that is a good support. I like the Link 3. And it's quite interesting because what I'm thinking is we love Aromatherapy Jasmine. You know, if it's our opponent's turn, I think I will still want to have the Link 2 on the field rather than her, depending on the situation, of course. So I think the battle support of Aromatherapy Jasmine, like, protecting us from being destroyed by battle, I think that's really nice, especially if, level 5 Marjoram is on the field where we don't get battle damage. So, that combo with those two is amazing to have during your opponent's turn. So if we have this girl, Link 3, on the field, she doesn't really, she doesn't really have, I don't know, she doesn't really have a lot of protection. Of course, I will use her effect on my turn, to banish cards and then, go towards battle and end the game. But, this ramps up the field. I don't know. Both being link monsters, you're going to have to work, especially since they rely on what the link is pointing to. You want that in the extra monster zone. So, kind of interesting. Anyway, let's see the next one. All right, guys, we have Aroma Lilith Magnolia. I kid you not, this is my favorite support out of all the five new cards for Aroma. This, oh my gosh, I am having this girl in my field all the time. She is amazing. Okay, let's take a look of why I'm being excited. So we have a level 8 dark monster. To fusion summon her, we need one aroma monster and one plant monster. So this is interesting because I don't know about any of the other aroma fans, but I think this is interesting to have a fusion monster in addition to our Synchro Link deck. You know, what I was thinking, seeing that we have Rosemary level 5, Synchro Monster, being synchro summoned, you know, ideally by level 4 Rosemary and Angelica for the tuner. That, that's a level 4 to a level 5 synchro. And then we have level 5 Marjoram synchro summoned to a level 6 synchro Marjoram. And then I thought the new addition would be level 6 Bergamot into a level 7 Synchro Monster Bergamot. And I am not joking. I knew that whatever that support would have been, it was going to say plant monsters cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while your life point is higher than your opponent's. It just made sense. So all these protections while we have our life points higher is amazing. And I knew that I was getting tired of being Raigeki'd by my opponent because my plant monsters didn't have any protection from being destroyed by card effects. So I'm so happy that Magnolia is here, and it's interesting. It's a new girl. I never seen her before in any of the other cards. So that's awesome. Even so, maybe in the very, very far future, we will have a level 7 Bergamot. I still think that's going to happen one day. I'm curious what his effects will be since she is using the, protection from being destroyed. Anyway, so for the first and second and third effect, it's all soft once per turn. Of course, specifically the 2 and 3, since 1 is continuous. But this is amazing. So if you have 2 of her, you can banish even more with the second effect. And then we can also uh, extra boost our plant girls with the third effect if we have 2 of her on the field. That is super cool. And look, I think that these girls are going to be extra thick because of her. We have our field spell, we have our Rosemary Synchro Monster already giving us heavy boost. So imagine with her effect how much boost would happen with these Aroma girls. She will be easily more than 4,000 attack. And that's already amazing. I can't imagine. This girl could be our finisher for our game, even using Bergamot with his defense, inflicting piercing battle damage effect. This is going to be a great deck, even if it's mostly pure. I don't think we need to focus on Rika right now. I know that a lot of people are going to be throwing Rika monsters, and I think it's not needed, especially for people who love Aroma as much as I do. Alrighty, so we have our third addition to Aroma. We have Aroma Lilith Rosalina. This is a hard once per turn. We have a quick effect. You can discard this card and target one Aroma monster you control. Gain life points equal to half its attack. So that is amazing. It's a tuner just as well as Angelica, and they are level 1. And interesting enough, this one is a dark and not a light, which is something that I wanted to look into because I see here we have Ancient Sacred Wyvern. This is a finisher monster when it comes to Aroma. While your life point is higher than your opponent's, this card gains attack equal to the difference. So, I I mean, just imagine, guys, these girls are going to be thick, and then you summon this level 7 monster requiring a light tuner, which we have for Angelica, and not the new effect for Rosalina since she's dark. This will surprise your opponent. He's going to be summoned like a huge threat because our life points is going to be huge, and I'll get more into that. In fact, I could get into it right now. Look, we have Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. This girl is like, oh my goodness, this girl is like Max C for Aroma because we take advantage with life gain as well as card draw. So if we have Max C running as well as Spooky Dogwood running in our deck, imagine how many times your opponent is going to special summon. It's going to be crazy, especially if you're going second. I think that this is going to be super, super cool to have for your turn one in your hands because you'll start your turn already life points higher, way higher, especially if your opponents are taking advantage with, or challenging the quote unquote max C. So they're probably not going to care. They probably care more about Max C than Spooky Dogwood. They're going to be like, I don't care if my opponent is gaining life. They could get as many life points they want, and I'll still beat them. Little do they know that you are using Aroma. So it does have a gamble. It does say if you did not gain life points by this effect, your life points are halved during the end phase. That is a gamble because you don't want to start your turn at 4,000 life points. You want to start it at 15,000. And it's going to be easily done if you use Dogwood. But of course, if you see a ritual spell or a fusion spell or some monster special summoning by an effect in the hand, chain it with this. It's going to be a guaranteed gain life. Except, of course, if the opponent is somehow summoning a monster at 0. Anyway, so going back with this card, this is also amazing and shocking for Aroma because the second effect, it says if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one non-tuner Aroma monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except plant monsters. Excuse me? I'm annoyed with this attitude that this girl is bringing to Aroma because Aroma accepts all types all the time. We were never locked for, plant monsters only. I don't know why she's bringing the Rika attitude into the Aroma deck, but I'm a little annoyed because this is also a great effect. It allows us to get into our synchro summon easily. And you know what's amazing? I think this girl was able to let us summon Baronne de Fleur, just to throw in a little Omni negate, because we don't really have a lot of negates or quick effect negates specifically in Aroma, except for Synchro Rosemary. Um, Even though Rosalina is bringing Rika attitude with the lock, don't forget we have a plant goddess. You guys, we have a plant goddess. We have Generator Boss of Light. You can summon her easily with Lone Fire Blossom. Use Goddess's effect, searching limitlessly for a plant monster in your deck. Take out a level 1 tuner, ideally Laurel and Angelica. Special summon them to the field, and boom, you got Barone. However, it won't be as easy as Diviner and Trias's combo because we have conditions. For Laurel, we will need to have our life points higher. Again, most likely it'll happen and it will be higher, but it's still a condition to bypass. Then we will need some kind of way to gain life points to trigger his effect to become a tuner. Again, Laurel is not a tuner, but he is a level 1 and can become one, which should be doable since we have multiple ways to gain life points. We have our field spell, yada yada yada, but still a condition to not overlook. For Angelica, we will need to have a way to get her into the graveyard so she can be special summoned from there while we have a higher life point than our opponent and we control an Aroma monster. Again, I think Laurel will be more doable than Angelica's, conditions. But in the end, this is just one way to get Barone. It's a synchro deck, guys. You will be able to get Barone one way or another. We also have Aroma Blend. I cannot tell you how much I'm in love with this spell. This spell is going to allow us to use our trap cards on turn one. Isn't that, Guys, Aroma fans, I know you always wanted this. I was so annoyed seeing other decks being able to make their traps face up so easily. Now we have that opportunity, especially with Blessed Winds and Humid Winds. Those cards are amazing to use on your turn one. You are going to be able to ramp up, gain life easily to trigger your effects with Blessed Winds. I am so happy. I am so happy. This is amazing. So look, you can also use that effect with discard one card. We can use that with Carrot Weight Champion. That guy, we all know that silly monster. That guy, he is great in the graveyard. He will give us an extra special summon by using cards to be sent into the graveyard, which we want. We want that. We can use that with Blessed Winds too. We can pay 1,000 and special summon a monster in the graveyard, specifically an Aroma monster, of course. But I think this is going to be amazing. I love this card. I also like the second effect. Of course, it's a fusion summon. It's not really a special thing to talk about. Of course, our life points will be higher to use monsters in the graveyard. I think this is going to be great. I love this spell. It's going to be definitely a 3 of. Oh, I can already imagine my deck. I kind of made one and I am not really completed with it. Maybe I'll talk more about that. Alright guys, this is the last support for Aroma. I wish I could say last but not least, but I can't. This is least. Look at this repetitive effect. It's an inspired wannabe Blessed Winds. Let me read it with Blessed Winds in mind, okay, guys? You can only use one of the effects of this card once per turn. Gain 1,000 life points for each Aroma monster you control with a different name. Number 2, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Aroma monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field, then gain 500 life points. Guys, you see what I mean? It's repetitive. We have life gaining again and special summoning from the graveyard again. Yes, Blessed Winds cannot give you heavy life point gain that this can, but I mean, I don't know. Do we really need that? I know it can work so well with Magnolia because we can gain a lot of life points. These angels are going to be swarming the field. We're going to have at least 3 aroma monsters, probably 4. We will have at least 3 aroma monsters, gain 3,000 life points, make them gain 3,000 attack by Magnolia's third effect. That is insane, yes. However, we are imagining Spooky Dogwood as making us gain life or other card effects that will make us gain life. So, I don't know. It's something that I guess you can run one of or none. It's going to be fun. I am so excited about this new edition. I was super happy. I needed to make this video to get it out. I love it so much. So I really hope you guys are as excited as I am for February. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have fun deck building. Bye!